Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with me, Najia. I'm a psychic medium, and I'm here to answer viewer questions today because I was on with Linda G on a live stream today. And a couple days before our video today, I asked my viewers to post some questions for Linda because me and Linda, we normally read on world affairs, some politics stuff as well, of course. That's Linda's specialty. And her channel is Linda G, the Comanche Psychic. But today was quite unusual. And we did questions that neither of us expected to do. We were just kind of going with the flow. And we answered tons of personal questions. So I promised that I would come on later and read, that I would read tarot cards on your questions. So I've had a little bit of a rest, not sleep, but a little bit of a break, ate some dinner, catch my breath, because I talked a lot and I was all talked out. Couldn't do any more talking after my show with her. We had a lot of fun. So go hop on her channel later. And even though they're personal questions, we just had a ball. It's just tune in for the good energy. And a lot of advice I gave other people, a lot of advice she gave other people. If it hits you in your gut, guess what? Your guides answered through us, through someone else's question. That's how it works, right? All right. So let me see the questions. All right, I'm going to go look over here. These questions were on my community page, also called Post, Posts, on my channel page under Posts. So used to be called community page back in the day, a few months ago. So Josephine says, I guess if you were to ask a question on the topic of government, do you foresee the people overthrowing the government and replacing it with new leaders? This might be a while unless we see things in the year of the horse. So next year is the year of the horse in Chinese astrology, by the way. It's also a number 1 year, new beginnings in numerology. So she says, in the year of the horse, when things can speed up and be more exposed. Absolutely. It's so interesting, Joe's. Oh, she goes also, will they try to prevent these Epstein files to be released? And will they release all of it, or will there be redacted files? Let's see what else she writes when they release them. Okay. So, Josephine, just want to comment. It's so interesting that this current year is the year of the snake and it's shedding all the old skin, right? Shedding all the old skin. And in numerology, it's been number 9 year, the year of endings, putting things to rest, getting everything dying off and shedding as well. And next year, we got the horse ready to bolt out of the gate, right? And it's also the number 1 year of new beginnings. So and another thing, another amazing thing, astrologically. Oh my God. Astrologically is the most regular astrology, Western astrology, the most amazing lineup is going on. There's a couple things. There's something that's lined up for new beginnings, unheard of, around third week in February, around the 20th. And then in the springtime, we finally get all the slower moving planets completely taking their place for quite a while in air and fire signs. And for the longest time, they've been in earth and water signs. So earth is like, grounded, and water always travels downward. So that's very pulled down kind of energy. And then we're moving to like combustion with the fire and the air. And it's like, oh my God, it's going to be a wild ride on that horse. Let me tell you. So, right off, right off. And if you've ever followed any of my numerology, I haven't posted anything on numerology in so long, but I will be doing numerology readings for everyone for the year 2026. So that's on my to-do list in the end of December. So everyone's going to get their own reading, right? So just that alone, all right? Now let me see what else you wrote. Just had to say that. Do you see the people overthrowing their government and replacing it with new leaders? Well, I'm going to read on this, okay? But I have this reoccurring visions and knowing that keeps coming in, right? Keeps coming in over the last year, about a year. I don't know, maybe a year and a half. I'm trying to think because I've lost track of time. Um, but this vision starts with a vision I had almost 11 years ago, where when things were great, I'm in my happy world thinking America's finally, getting peaceful, we're getting rid of racism and two-term, you know, biracial president, Obama. It was really great. I liked him, He did a lot of great things, made things better, especially the health insurance. But I got this vision. I tuned into some people and I started seeing the future. And it's everything we're going through now. We've been going through it, especially this year. It's like everything. I saw this horrible energy. There were people, it's like civil war, energy, which is it's in the astrology. I found that out later. But it's that tearing apart and people spending too much time on the internet and getting brainwashed basically and sucked into things and really hating other people based on what they saw and just everything that's going on, like how I couldn't even imagine Trump ever being on the ticket, let alone being president, let alone wanting to be a dictator and never leaving. But all this is happening. It's all stuff I saw. So I kind of went into this energy about that. Like, what's going to happen? And I also about 3 years ago got a huge psychic experience with all my clairs at once, where I was reflecting on, things were getting better after, we got over the worst of the pandemic. We're going to go back to normal. And I, s- I got this vision of everything. I've talked about this before, but we're never going back to normal. That's what I was told. We're never going back to normal. And that everything that happened in the pandemic and things that even happened in 9/11 were preparing us for this major, major, major change and shock to our systems coming up. And I wasn't given a timeline, but I felt like it was soon. It's coming. It's coming. in a few years, from that time. And so I started going into that energy about a year ago, year and a half. And I keep seeing like the country being divided up, and not necessarily the two pieces I see. Now, I don't know if this is political political as well as geographical, but I saw along the Mississippi, I saw a lot of earthquakes, flooding, everything, just all kinds of stuff going on in my visions. And I keep being drawn to that area. It keeps coming in that there's going to be a huge division there. And I keep getting this sense that at some point, a division within our country, like a rulership division, or where people want to move like on one side or the other, actually go on one side of the Mississippi or the other. So along this fault line, which I found out later, there's a fault line there. And someone told me when I talked about this before, Edgar Casey predicted something like this about 100 years ago. So I don't want to say that. I think it's called the New Madrid. Okay. New Madrid fault line. I'm not sure, but tell me in the comments if I'm right or wrong. And then there's a sense, like, it just makes sense, like a state like California or even certain parts of the West Coast. Like, why would they even want to be still part of the United States with, they have a lot of natural disasters recently. They put a lot into the federal budget. They are the fourth largest entity, right? Like like a country. Their economy is like the fourth largest like country, but they're a state. But that's how much they can, they make and they contribute to the federal budget. Like they put a lot in. And that money they put in makes up for all the states that are at a deficit and aren't contributing to the federal budget. They take out more than they put in. And I'm thinking, God, they're so technically wealthy. If they just separated, they under this administration, they're really having a hard time getting help, for natural disasters. Trump is playing games and such. And like, why would they even want to be part of us? And it may be just better for them to secede. Now, I don't necessarily envision that happening. I don't see it, but if I follow the energy and just make sense, and maybe even some states near California. So the thing that I get a sense of is, there was a time when this country was three different countries, territories. The East belonged, you know, English came over first. Then the French had the whole middle of the country, that whole area, everyone spoke French. And, the Western states were all owned by Spain. It was called New Spain, right? It was called New Spain. I'm trying to remember what the middle of the country was called. Somebody tell me in the comments when it was owned by France, right? And then we had the big Louisiana Purchase, right? So, and, Texas used to belong to Mexico, right? Right. So, anyway, so I keep kind of seeing like it's going to go back to something like that, except we have a lot of natural disasters on the West Coast with the earthquakes. We have a lot of flooding especially, I mean, we have flooding everywhere, but we're going to have a lot of flooding on the East Coast from what I see, what I have been seeing, sea level rise and the beach being much closer to where I live. So it's not just so simple as overthrowing leaders. There's a number of things that are going to accelerate and happen. And I also see, our dollar system really failing. Our economy is really not doing well right now, even though if you watch certain entertainment slash news channels, they'll say the opposite. But if you just look at really what's happening, just go to the store and you'll know. And know people that you know who don't have jobs and Anyway, so let me read on that to answer that. All right. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to do a reading on it. I'm going to do like a little bit longer, I think. And just kind of like map it out, right? Map it out in a more traditional reading. Okay. Let me try to fit. Where's my little mat? I like when I have my little mat, but it's okay. I feel like it's respectful to the cards to put the lace mat down, my antique lace mat. But I don't see it. Where are you? Oh, I don't know where you are. It's okay. I'm just going to be casual today, right? So, I forgot to tell everybody on Linda's channel, when I was on Linda's channel, when it would have really mattered if I said it then, because she had thousands and thousands of people watching. I'm almost at 10,000 subscribers. And when I reach 10,000, I'm going to give away a free reading to a subscriber. So I know how to see all my subscribers and I'm going to call out that person and I'm going to have a video where I'm doing the actual drawing. Excuse me, I'm so itchy. That's my mom coming through. She told me she would do this when she passes. She would make my nose itchy. By the way, I'm just pulling this because I'm told to pull this card. Oh. So I have our nation feeling like a fool out on the ledge, but feeling foolish, not this beautiful new start. Like we're going to go through some hard times. And because there was a corrupt king, misused. So the corrupt king, the King of Pentacles, when it's in reverse, that's someone that misuses money and health and, wealth and health and like physical bodies, right? Anything physical that supports a human being. So yeah, we got people losing their health care, right? So I think people are going to really when they realize that and they're paying double, triple for health care when they didn't have to, they're going to they're going to feel foolish. And that's part of this contribution to wanting new leader, right? New leaders. So I've got people really feeling burdened. This is the main part of the reading, like packing up and saying, I've had it. Number 10 is I've reached the end of the line. I'm done with this and I'm feeling burdened, right? It's the ending of something, but the start of something new. Ah, the obstacle is like crying over the spilt milk or whatever, but these are like rainbows of wishes, full of wishes. So it's the Four of Cups. This is the obstacle. It's also in the reverse position. But either way, this person is not happy and is looking at what she doesn't have. There is a rainbow opportunity that she just doesn't see, a new something coming along. But in this obstacle position, it's not allowing It's like it's delaying the ending. It's like, and people are still carrying the burdens. So there's something like not allowing that complete ability to let go. Mm. The people have reached their end, you know. The wand energy, that's your vitality. You've been stripped of your vital life energy, been worn down. And I would say everything we've been going through, this division, it's been wearing people down. Conscious thoughts, people cannot connect to their spiritual peace. They don't know how to erect energetic boundaries and protect themselves with the Seven of Wands reverse. This is an energy card in this deck. It's more about the energetic boundaries and not the physical, like in the traditional deck. And people, so conscious thoughts is like not people not being able to find peace within themselves. And subconscious, well, we know this. Two of Swords, the polarization. Swords or crows in this deck have to do with words and thoughts, the mind and truth. And this woman is being torn in one direction. She's hearing caw, 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 caw. And this one's shouting in her ear, and she's blind. She can't see the truth. And she's just tangled up by the crows. In the traditional deck, she's blindfolded, and the swords are going in two different directions, showing the polarization. And she can't make a decision, you know? She's hard to see the truth. It's hard. She has to just take the blinders off and walk away, right? That's in the subconscious, and people could just take the blinders off, right? In the past, we have the Empress in reverse, like all that beautiful wealth and abundance is going away. It's been blocked. Our beautiful divine feminine, we've lost that for now. For now, don't worry. I know that beautiful divine feminine energy is coming back. So we will get our Empress back. Right now, it's like this. All right. In the future, the near future. Wow. Wow. Very interesting because this is like the MAGA card, Make America Great Again in reverse. So people want to go back to the good old days, but they can't because it's in reverse. We are not going back. We can't go back to the past, to how things were, unfortunately. Even though that's in your heart, you miss your doggy, you're still thinking about it when you're older. In reverse, this is blocked. And I like to explain the cards because I'm also a teacher and I teach a lot of psychic development on this channel. So even when I read these political questions, they're getting an education, right? Can't help who I am. Oh my God. So the card that represents us. Wow. Ten of Swords in reverse. Traditionally, this is like every knife is in the back. All 10 knives are in the back. And you have been defeated. Like you're just so worn down. But I'll tell you what's going on when it's in reverse. It's actually better. It's another ending, by the way. It's an ending. It's actually better than when it's upright. When it's in reverse, like you're ready for change. You're ready for a new beginning. You're ready to let those swords out of your back. You're ready to let go of the crows, giving you falsehood, putting knives in your brain, right? Wow. In the environment, we've got the division with the Two of Cups in reverse, the breakup card. Wow. Oh, this is yeah, Two of Cups. I thought it was the lovers, but it almost looked like lovers with the hands. But yeah, this is a breakup. That's in the environment. The environment is a breakup. Um, hopes and fears. The Knight of Swords in reverse. It's really rashness, people wanting to fight and but being too radical, not thinking things through. It's in reverse. And they're not seeing the truth with the reverse sword. Final outcome. Whoa. Long term, Page of Swords in reverse. Wow. This is a misuse of language and words, cunning, deceptive energy. I don't see a good. So, Josephine, it doesn't look good for, if we answer your question, people do hope to overthrow the government, but it's still like so much division. God, let me just do a clarifier. All right, we got some good news. A little further down the line, we got some hardworking, steady energy coming toward us. A night when somebody's coming that's going to help build everything up slowly. But it's just something going on, man. It's a lot going on. It's not looking good. Um, you know, maybe, maybe everyone will be happy in their own little area. People will move because no one can agree how it should be. There's so much division. Maybe if everything just went into three separate territories in some manner, maybe not exactly countries, but people could run their own thing more, you know. I don't know, but I don't see it. I don't see the same flag running, you know. By the way, I've seen our flag being destroyed for the last several years. All right. Okay, I always see a new one coming in. It says, "Oh, hi there. Did Melania have worked on her face or is it a body double?" Well, you can tell she got work done on her face. Remember, she disappeared for a long time during the first administration? I haven't looked at her lately, but I'll read on it. Recent pictures have her smiling all the time, where past pictures she did not smile. She has a really hard time keeping a smile on her face. Oh, she has a very hard time maintaining that smile, man. It's kind of funny. Anyway, they could very well be a body double. I haven't looked lately what you're seeing. I know you're asking like now as opposed to a few years ago. Mm. Um, let's do some cards on this. I just saw oh man, whatever. Travel, everything coming in fast, empowering oneself, seeking vitality with the wand energy. I've got Six of Cups, wanting to go back to the past, look younger. Let's see. Let me, well, it looks, there is something about wanting to look younger with that card coming in. going back to the past. But I'm like, is there a body double? Hmm. Something's fishy and cut apart. Oh, Page of Cups in reverse. Yeah. It's a messenger, but it's like something's blocked in regard to her. So I would just say, yeah, there might be a body double at times. Yeah, let me just tune into this. Yeah. Well, we know she's not fond of her position and she doesn't like to be there. And maybe she has to be there. So I'm kind of something's fishy, and that the Queen of Wands in reverse, she would be the queen, and it's showing that something is blocked in the reverse position and the need for self-care. So you know what? I wonder if it's both. I wonder if, anyway, yeah, I think both are happening. All right. And I also got the Eight of Wands walking away to empower herself. Like that's what she's thinking of doing. She doesn't want to be there. She does not want to be there. So I don't know. Some of it may be like she needs to just get away with the Eight of Cups. I'm sorry, Eight of Cups and walking away and just wanting to get away from the chaos. And some of it, yeah, she likes to maintain her looks and stuff like that. Um, oh, so okay, I'm sorry. It's Melanie at work. Okay. Oh, these are all out of order for some reason. I don't know. YouTube's doing crazy things. I'm trying to answer people's comments and it won't let me. And I don't know what's going on. YouTube's doing crazy stuff. All right. Oh, did I forget to tell you all? I forgot to tell you. I put I put my I put my deep dive 30% off. I don't remember if I told you or not. If you go to my website, bealivinggoddess.com/mystical, and go on that page, you can book up until Monday. I have the big sale. Can't remember if I mentioned that. All right, so stay tuned says, hello, Najia. I followed you over here from Linda G's place. You two are a riot. She must have been on the earlier video at Linda's because this is just from 4 hours ago. I'm hoping for you to tell me if you have a set schedule. Do you post videos on certain days? Do you have lives on certain days and times? I subscribe so I will get notices, but thought a heads up would help me plan. Oh, Nance. Nance, also known as Stay Tuned. That's my mom coming in. Um, I used to do a couple lives, and I'm still trying to maintain that every week. And I would have a live for members, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, and I would have other lives for everyone. And and then I would do at least 7 long form videos a week, 7 to 10, and some shorts. I used to post a lot, but I would definitely post every day and sometimes twice a day. But since my heart surgery and I'm having other issues with my lungs, having a hard time breathing, and then when I take that medication, it raised my blood pressure so high. I mean, 60, 70 points, very dangerous. I was like up to 189 over 13 last night. And my friend who's a doctor wanted me to go to the hospital to the ER. And I'm just like, I can't. It's so expensive. Every time I go there, it's like $500 plus all this drama, and I'm there forever. And it doesn't help me. So I got a hold of, I found my old medication that I could take and help myself. But listen, I really want to get back to doing more videos and at least having a regular schedule. But with my health, it's really hard to plan. I apologize. I just can do what I can, because this is where I'm at right now with my health. And you know, it takes a lot out of me to do these videos because I have to talk. And I use up all my air. And then and the steroids have just been wearing me down and screwing up my blood pressure. And then when every time I get upset, my blood pressure goes up more. So um I don't know what to do. Among other things I'm dealing with, falling on my rib cage on the cement, and fracturing and spraining my ankle and fracturing. But I'm getting better. I'm healing up so much with my body injuries. So the injuries are getting better. And I went and did a walk. My ankle's healing up. And I went and did a walk. And I'll be doing more of those. And thank you for subscribing. I appreciate it. And whenever I do those walks, they're all about asking me questions on psychic development and everything mystical. You know, you can ask me astrology stuff, even. I'm not an astrologer, but I am an avid enthusiast. And numerology, which is a big part of tarot. You can ask me about dreams and crystals and talking to loved ones on the other side, all the Claires. You can ask me about any of that. I'm really happy to help you on those lives because it's very important. We're going through difficult times, right? As you see, a lot of changes up ahead, and we need our guides and angels to help us navigate all this change, to give us comfort, to give us a steady rock to hang on to. Okay, that's about the only thing we need. Like, what do you call it? A life preserver to hang on to. So we need that as we're in the midst of all this swirling energy. All right, so then we have Bob, digital artist. He says, "Hi, Bob, digital artist here. With all the things going on, with ships being blown out of the water in Venezuela, ugh, I know what you mean. In the next 6 months, do you think we're going to be okay and not get into a war? I hope so. Can you tell me what you see?" All right, I'm going to go in the cards, but I keep seeing or feeling all this time when there's a couple things going on. And there's a huge tie to Epstein, and I keep getting Epstein, Epstein, Epstein when he attacks those boats, those fishermen that he says are drug dealers, that they never proved to be drug dealers, right? So one thing is that he wants a big distraction to take the heat off of the Epstein files and his involvement. Um, the other thing is if I just people tell, so one of the things people who wrote in the comments on Linda said he's trying to get control of the oil for his friends over in Venezuela. I don't know a whole lot about that, but I do remember this thing that someone else brought up, and I'm like, yeah, if he starts a war, if he starts a war, they can't kick him out as a president. There's some law in place. I remember seeing that. Wow. So Three of Cups in reverse. So this is a really intense imbalance in there's a couple things going on. So the Three of Cups in reverse can represent two separate things. When it's in reverse, it can go to the extreme, like the best is a Three of Cups upright. See how hopeful that is? But when it's in reverse, the blockage of being able to celebrate something wonderful from the heart together, it goes in two directions away from that. So one is um, an isolation of not being aligned with people from the heart and just isolating and misery. And the other end is extreme recklessness and of intoxicating yourself, like substance abuse. Let me get some more information. I would say, this is going on now. And I think it's a little bit of both. Like, many have said, about an Adderall issue, a substance abuse issue, you know, to affect his erraticness. But there is also a certain isolation in the type of person he is, because he really only cares about himself, right? He doesn't really have any real friends. And then later on, we've got this beautiful energy coming in. So I see like a new person. I don't, coming in that has a heart. I didn't see any cards of war. All right, Bob, okay? I mean, we already have all these other wars going on, but we're not at war with these countries. Although it looked like he was trying to start a war with Iran, right? Months ago, that was kind of crazy. That's what made me think about that or look into that months ago. And then someone else reminded me in regard to Venezuela today in the comments. Yeah. Yeah. So Josephine wants to know more about the mythical creatures being seen like the griffin and the white Iberian lynx. I don't know anything about that, Josephine. She says I will not ask political question because there is to be a new earth and one should realize all government systems will collapse. Yeah, but I do see government systems will collapse. It's happening in a lot of places. She's right. She must be watching other psychics. Yeah, so people are not happy with their leaders, you know? So, Mary McKenzie, hi, sweetie. Does the US split up into several countries? I keep thinking there's going to be some battles and what would hold us together after so much has been taken apart. I mean, it's, like-minded people will go with other like-minded people. I don't know if we're going to be several countries. I don't know if it's exactly like countries like Europe, separate countries. It might be more what Europe was before, like European Union and I don't know. I think we're going to go through a lot of changes. From what I see in my visions, I have to go into hours and hours of meditation, not just going and reading the cards. I have to go into prayer, meditation. I have to get into a certain space where I hope I can receive the visions. It's a lot of times when I have the visions and the dreams and the different things, they happen spontaneously. But I want to see if I can find those answers, like seeking it, like asking and just really slowing things down a bit. I've been really, really busy and getting a lot of medical procedures and tests and stuff. Still have a lot to do. Anyway, so I will be doing that because I want to find out more about 2026. And but definitely down the line, I don't it's going to be so different. But things eventually will get better because there's help coming. There's help coming. Um, Plastic dishes. Hi, sweetie. Will Congress get its balls back and stand up to Trump's authoritarian orders? Will Moses Mike Grinder Johnson be outed as House Speaker? And will this be the catalyst for Trump leaving the presidency? Does he flee? Mm, there's still a lot of questions. Let me see. Is this video getting too long? What time is it? Hey, let me answer this question in the next video because I know some of you don't like when the videos are too long. So I'm going to end this now. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe and get a chance at a free reading. I'm going to do part 2 for everybody. All right? All right. Thank you for joining me. And I will answer your question. Plastic dishes. I love your name. I love your name.